I have a larger addition to my 2023 planner lineup. Let's go. So if you've been in planner community even for 5 minutes, you know how it goes. As soon as you say, I think I'm settled with all the planners and all the pens and all the covers that I'm gonna have in this year's lineup, then you turn around and find something else that is really cool and you just cannot keep yourself from buying it. And that is exactly what I did. I don't know how it happened, but I was not aware of Moleskine Expanded notebook. That is a notebook with 400 pages in it. And unfortunately, they don't have it in a smaller size. As you know, most of my planners are pocket or passport or A6, but the one I found is an A5, and that is small enough for me. I actually prefer A5s for notebooks where I do longhand journaling or use them for studies, and that is exactly the notebook that I needed, because 2023 will be the year where I finally go through all the classes and all the courses that I've purchased, be it on writing, running a business, or manifestation, and I needed a really good thick notebook to use it for those notes that I love to take. I'm a heavy note taker when I study, and when I came across Moleskine Expanded on Sarah Martinez's channel, I was like, sign me up. And I looked into them. They come in a plain grid and a dot format, and of course I went ahead and got a grid or graph or math paper, which I love. If you've seen any of my videos, I love graph paper. It just brings peace to my mind, and so that's the version I decided to get. But of course I also wanted to have a cover to use with this notebook, which is A5 size cover. I do not own any A5 size covers because all my covers are A6 and smaller, so I went ahead and started looking for it, and just completely by chance I came across this beauty right here. When I came across it, I literally couldn't believe how beautiful it is. One thing you need to know about me, if you haven't noticed from my videos, I love turquoise, beach glass, this kind of a minty colors, and this thing was just everything that I could ask for. It's the cover of the size that I needed. It had this beautiful shimmery fabric. This one is by a company called Koolemon. This is 8.5 notebook cover, and it's in teal mandala flower. Gorgeous. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can I don't know how well the camera shows off the colors and varieties in this cover, but I mean, you can see how beautiful it is. It comes with 2 bookmarks that have these really big heavy tassels on them. I haven't taken the plastic off, as you can see, because I'm afraid that they will get, you know, too floppy and the strands will start coming off or something. So I decided to keep them in these plastic covers for now, and I'm just the cover itself, I feel like I'm so happy that I found it because of the notebook that I almost don't care what notebook will be inside, because just to use something like this on daily basis is simply inspiring. So as far as the pen to hold this case together, as you can see, it's basically like a Hobonichi style cover design, where you have your cover, you have your 2 notebooks, and you have 2 loops where you can either hold 2 pens or feed 1 pen through it to hold them together, and that's what I did here. And for the pen, so far I decided to use Energel Cleaner because it has this little minty top on the top, so I think they kind of go together. I will do some pen test in this video to see if I can use maybe fountain pen with this notebook, but we'll see. And so let's open it up so you can see inside. And so inside, again, as you can see, it's very similar to Hobonichi Techo covers. I'm pretty sure you can use this cover for Hobonichi cousin. That's basically what it's for. I'm using it for this notebook. As you can see, the cover is slightly bigger than the notebook itself because Moleskine Expanded, even though it's technically A5 size. It's narrower than regular A5s, so regular A5 I believe would go all the way up to here, and a Moleskine is a little bit narrower than that, but I don't mind because it's big enough of notebook. And you have several pockets here, so I put this card from Goulet pens in here because it's in pretty blues, and I added the card from one of my favorite jewelry / inspirational maker, Universe Letters, and this one says, "Anything is possible at any time. Trust and believe." Really good message that I would like to use for this year, especially when I'm doing my studies to better myself. And yeah, so these are the things, just a couple things that I've used here so far. Again, as you can see, there are 2 page markers here, and again they have these silver tassels on them. And I put a notebook, I just fit it into the back pocket. As you can see, similar to Hobonichi Cousin covers, this one has a back secretarial pocket. It doesn't have a pocket here, but I usually don't use them anyway, and I just put notebook in here. Now, because the cover is so much bigger than the notebook, I didn't want notebook to swim in it too much, so I didn't fit it all the way till the end. I left like a space in here, so with that, when I close it, you can see that notebook at least you know, hits the back here, so it fits here well. And then you have, of course, like this big gap here. Some of you might not like that, but I'm okay with that because I love this cover, so I'm fine with it, even if it doesn't fit notebook perfectly. And of course, I'm happy with notebook itself because I've been using Moleskines for many years. In fact, this year's setup, my you know, my main squeeze, my everyday carry is also Moleskine Pocket, and this one, as I mentioned, is 400 pages. Look how thick this notebook is. I mean, it's plenty of pages for anything you want to do. You can use this kind of notebook for bullet journal if you're into this. You can use it just for longhand journaling. You can use it for your gratitudes. I'll be using it for studies. As I mentioned, I'm a heavy note taker when I learn, and graph paper is my favorite because it truly brings peace to my mind. I look at it and my thoughts just get organized. You can graph in here, you can, you know, draw borders or wherever you need. Perfect for your bullet lists. When I take notes for studies, I actually take everything in bulleted form. That's just how my brain works, and so I'm just super excited about this setup. And the notebook itself, because it's so thick, it actually comes with 2 page markers. One is in this brownish, kind of like a burgundish brown, and one is in black. And so far I'm just keeping them here. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna use the native bookmarks or the ones that come with the case. I think I'm probably gonna leave this alone where they are, just for decoration purposes, and we'll actually use the page markers that the notebook comes with. And as I mentioned, this particular one, they call it squared. You can also look for graph paper, but that is Moleskine Classic Collection Expanded Notebook in squared. And so this is the little setup. Now, I mentioned that I haven't chosen a pen yet for this notebook because Moleskine paper, not exactly like Hobonichi, you know, Tomoe River paper, so it's not exactly the most fountain pen friendly paper, and I write with fountain pens a lot nowadays, but I also like Energel Cleaner pens. I really love these pens, and I've been using them in my pocket, and I know it handles them well. So if anything, this minty top pen will work with this notebook. It has a black ink inside. I also have refills for Energel Cleaner with like a turquoise ink, so I might use it here as well for those days when I want to change things up. But today I want to try several pens and see what will work well. I've done some pen tests in my pocket Moleskine, and since it's the same paper, I imagine they will perform similarly, but just in case, I want to make sure that they are in fact, you know, made out of same paper. So let's try some pens out, some highlighters, some markers, some fountain pens, and see how they do. So first of all, I would like to test out the Energel Cleaner that I already picked, and I'm just gonna use this page for ease of use. So let's just put a title here. We're gonna say pen test. Now this particular one is, I believe, is 0.4, so it's pretty fine, and it's a needle nose point pen. They're very fine writers, very nice ink distribution. I enjoy writing with them in all of my notebooks, no matter the paper. They do well in just your regular run-of-the-mill notebooks. They do well in Moleskine. They do well with Tomoe River paper and Koolemon. So this pen is all-around winner. I saw Helen from the Coffee Monsters Co. using it and raving about it, and that's why I decided to get them. And let me tell you, I haven't regretted the decision. I actually have 4 different Energel Clanas at this moment. I have this minty top, I have one that is blue with darker blue top, I have this brown one, I also have Energels that are not Clana but very similar ink, similar point, and I'm just enjoying them for my work and regular daily life. So just let's write this one out. So Energel Clana 04, and this one is black. Very nice. And then we're gonna check the back of the page after we're done. And this one is in brown, and this one is in 0.5. So again, much smoother writing, of course, because when you go from 04 to 5, especially when you go from 0.3 to 5, you can tell the difference in how smooth it is. But of course then you have a little bit more ink and it might bleed through. So that's why I'm trying different thicknesses to see which one does less damage, so to say. So that one is in brown. Next one I have is this Icon Un Jour de Rêve. This one is 0.38, so that's pretty fine. This one is in turquoise. I've tried it before on Tomoe River paper, and it's such a beautiful point fine pen. Look how pointy it is. So let's see how it does on Moleskine paper. So this one is Icon, and it is Un Jour de Rêve. Very nice. First time when I tried it, you can see it in my videos where I originally got it, I was really impressed with how smooth this pen is, considering how fine the point is. So this one is really nice. So we're gonna say it's 0.38, and this one in, I will say teal, because turquoise will just not fit in here. Really nice. I'm a very tactile person, so if pen is too scratchy or too watery, it will just bother me and I will not use it. Plus, you know, when you take notes, you don't want anything to smudge, so finer side of things definitely works. And of course, because it's Moleskine paper, you want to pick something that doesn't bleed through, so then you can actually, you know, take full advantage of all 400 pages. Because I've seen some people would buy thicker notebooks but then use only facing page because the, you know, ink bleeds through, and that's kind of like a waste of paper to me. All right, so next let's try some brush pens. So I have a brown and a teal brush pens. Both of them are it's a food attach pen, so it's basically same pen but in 2 different colors. I love these, even though they're brush pens. I don't use them as a brush pen per se. I use them for doodling, for delineating things, to writing titles. They're really nice. I really like them. So let's go to food attach, brush, pen, and that one is in teal. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the brown one. I like this so much, especially the brown one, that I actually bought 2 of them in case if one runs out, and I don't want to be without them even one day. I know, dramatic, but you know, when you love your pen, you love your pen. So this is brush. As you can see on this side of paper, it handles it really well. There is no like feathering or smudging. I mean, granted, of course, I'm not moving my hand right over the ink, but I like the way it looks. And of course, the size of the graph here on the paper itself is perfect. I believe it is 0.5. Koolemon techos have slightly smaller square, and sometimes it's kind of hard to write in, especially when you have a bigger handwriting. when I write fast, when I take note, my handwriting tends to get bigger, and this is a perfect size of the square here. So now I did brush pens. Now let me do some zebra mindliner highlighters. So I have this one in brown, I have this one in mint, and I have some of these in these earthy tones. So let's just do white side. I'm not gonna write out what they are because we all know who they are. I know what they are. All right, and then let me do one of the light ones. So this one is really nice. This one is it's gray, but it actually comes out silver. I like these new ones. It's so light and gentle, and then if you want to make it darker, just go over it second time. All right, and I guess I can just write there that these are zebra. Ooh, too late. Mild liners. Okay. Look at my pen collection over here. Then next one I want to try out is this really cute. So this is Kokuyo Mark Plus. This one is also dual side, kind of like zebra mild liners, but if this side is as wide as zebra, this side of the pen is really fine. So, and you can just basically use it as a pen rather than, you know, a marker. So let's do this one. I like this one of how saturated the color is, and it's very smooth. And I guess I can just write with this. So this is Kokuyo Mark Plus. We'll see how it looks on the other side. I think it will be kind of a bit too much, but we'll see. We'll see. And then last but not least, what I really want to try is a fountain pen. So you've seen it in a couple of my videos. It's a pen that I just recently got. I got it for Christmas from my husband, and I was super excited. It's a Platinum Corridas, and it's a clickable pen. And this one is in medium. So I've tried actually fountain pens on Moleskine paper and they work fine, but those pens that I've tried were both in fine with a drier ink, and they actually work really well. So you can use fountain pen in Moleskine paper if they're fine with drier ink. The ones that I use are Kaweco Sport with Kaweco ink, and that would work perfectly. So now this one is a platinum pen with a platinum ink. So this one just has a blue ink. That's the cartridge that it came with. I just got converter so I can load different inks into it, but let me see how the actual platinum pen with platinum ink works on Moleskine. And this one is in medium. Because if this pen works out well, I might have this pen with this cover and this notebook permanently, because originally I paired it up with my Hobonichi Techo A6 because obviously Tomoe River paper handles fountain pen ink really well, but the pen is kind of big and I would like to have it with a matching cover because my Hobonichi is in Mina Perhonen cover and it's on the beige side, and I like to have my pens kind of match my cover so they go together. So that's why I'm hoping I can use this one with this notebook, but we'll see. Alright, so this one is done. So let me just try a couple of my little baby markers here from Stabilo. I have no doubt that Stabilos will work really well because they are so fine. And then just one more color. Let me pick like a slightly darker color, like this one. Or no, maybe let me try the brown one. And this one is 8875. Alright, are we all ready for the grand reveal and see how this notebook handles it? Because as I mentioned, notebook is 400 pages, so I will be in this notebook a lot, and I really would like to have a pen that works nice and doesn't, you know, drive me crazy. So let's see, fingers crossed. Alright, not bad, not bad. So here's the back side. So as you can see, my foot attach didn't do too well. There is a little bit of a bleed through. You can see they're the darkest ones. But everything else, by the way, including the fountain pen, look, this is the fountain pen. Yes, you can see through it because obviously Moleskine paper shows through a little bit, but there is no bleed through. And there is no feathering here of the inks. And all of the rest of them, even the highlighters, the ones that I went over twice, did really well. All of these did really well, but the foot attach, my brush pens, because you know you kind of have to push hard on them when you write with them, they went through a little bit. So this is something to keep in mind, but otherwise, I mean, you can see that I'll be able to use basically all my pens and all my highlighters and markers that I have right now. Even my fountain pen, that is super exciting news. I'm very excited about it because, as I mentioned, I knew that fine pens did well on Moleskine paper, but I didn't know about medium nib, and looks like it did really well, at least with that ink. So I'll definitely be able to use that, and I'll definitely, of course, will be able to use my Energel Kalenas with this as well. Very exciting news. So I think with that in mind that I'll be able to dedicate the platinum pen to this case. So I mean, let's try it, because this is like a darker turquoise. I mean, obviously it fits just fine. It's a little bit darker color than this, you know. I wish it was like more on the minty side or more beach glass side, but still it goes well because they are in the same kind of color family. And then instead, if I put this one, which is Energel Clana in mint, because it's in mint and white, it's lighter, and so it doesn't overpower the color of the cover, so it works really well as well. I guess I can go back and forth and see which one I like. And then let's see, this one also will work really well, the icon. But this one is kind of like a more simpler design, and this is such a fancy cover, so I want something a little bit more fancier looking with this cover. I know, problems, right? So I think for now I will definitely put this kind here because it just fits right in, like they belong to each other. Very happy. So again, just to summarize, this is A5 cover by Koolemon, and they call it notebook cover, and it's teal mandala flower. It has Moleskine Expanded squared, 400 pages, as you can see. Because the book is narrow, there is a kind of a space there. I know it might bother some people. I'm fine with it because I just love, and it fits really well. As you can see, widths, wides, it's perfect. And this is a fabric cover, so what I will be doing is I will be covering with clear cover on cover, and I just got one that comes with Hobonichi cousin, and because this is technically a cousin cover, they should fit, so we'll see in a second. And you saw me do all the pen tests, and they look pretty good. So all in all, it looks like a successful purchase. And let's try on and put on this clear cover on cover. So I just got this one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it fits. I've seen some people when the cover doesn't fit, like if it's too narrow, you can use a hairdryer and basically kind of blow warm air on it and make it stretch and fit the notebook. So we'll see. So as you can see, it is Tools and Toys Hobonichi cover, so it's actually Hobonichi brand cover, and we'll see if they play together or not. So far so good. So as far as the height, fits really well. Now let's see if it fits as a width. I remember the first time I was putting on cover on my Hobonichi Techa, I was so like nerve-wracking. I thought I would like ruin it somehow, but then you realize, oh no, these things are really sturdy and they designed to, you know, withstand things, and use. Ta-da! Perfect fit. Look at this. They were meant for each other. Of course, this cover doesn't have a back pocket like Hobonichi does, but I don't use it anyway. And look, perfection all around. It's not tight, it's not loose. Really good fit, and now I don't have to worry about, you know, accidentally putting ink blots or just dirt or whatever, you know, water drops, coffee droplets on this gorgeous cover, because besides being fabric, it's also light in color, and I mean, who would want to ruin this beauty? Ah, perfect. Just all around successful buy over here. So of course I will be putting links to all the items here in description down below. It is a thing of beauty. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited, looking forward, you know, doing my studies and using this notebook on a daily basis, because I mean, that's why we get pretty notebooks, right? Because pretty notebooks, besides obviously being functional, are also very encouraging, you know, to be, you know, for us to open them and use them, especially with something that you want to use on a daily basis. So if you're interested in A5 notebook for your notes or for bullet journaling, this to me looks like a really gorgeous setup. Again, you might maybe not like that there is so much space, but this is, you know, A5 narrow. I don't think there are many covers for it, unfortunately, but I am not complaining with this beauty. I am very happy. And of course, as you can see, it is sized to fit Hobonichi Cousin, therefore it fits the Hobonichi Cousin clear cover on cover, so you can get that from JetPens or Amazon or Hobonichi themselves if you want to protect this cover from use. And Platinum Corrida's clickable pen looks pretty nice at home over here. You saw the pen test fared really well with all the pens, even with fountain pen, you know, except these guys because they're on a kind of a darker side. But all in all, I think it's a fantastic setup, which I'll be very excited to use this year to improve myself. Again, I will put links to everything down below. I would like for you to let me know what you're thinking about this setup, about this cover, the notebook, what you use your notebooks for. I know a lot of you use A5s. What is your favorite way of using it? And are you a line notebook person, or squared, or dotted, or plain? Let me know what you use it for. If you like this kind of video, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And until then, you take care. Bye.